Oh, hi everybody. Welcome to the Cartoon Factory. I'm your host, Jim Gilbert. Just working on the cartoon we were working on last time. Now, I want to share the full color version, but I want to give you a brief explanation first. I probably am the most absent-minded person on the face of this earth. So the actual cartoon that we drew on the last show, I can't find it. So I redrew one. So maybe the colors are a little different, but go ahead and take a look here. This is when poor old Mr. Johnson finds out that he has Lyme disease. Now, I also want to point out that in a particular case like this, you don't necessarily have to have a full color cartoon, but since the color is rather important on this cartoon, you can do it this way also. You can simply take and do everything in black and white. Here we go. Do everything in black and white and just make the actual character here in color, because unless we have the green here, you know, we don't know that it's a Lyme. So, okay, we're set. Before we get started today, and today we're going to work with the number 3. Remember last time we were together, or one of the last shows, I told you about sacrificing a pencil and how we dropped one and how the tips will sometimes get loose and break off. Well, this is what happens. If the tip gets loose when you're working here and you draw too hard, it'll go like that. It'll just pop right off on you. You can avoid that by not dropping your pencils. Okay, cool. Now, one of the best shows we've ever had was doing characters from numbers, and that's what we're going to do for the next show, maybe the next 2 shows. And I was playing around last night with different cartoon ideas and drawing different characters and stuff, and I found out that there is a multitude of characters you can draw just using the number 3. So we're going to start off real easy and actually work up to some fairly difficult cartoons today simply by using a few shapes and the number 3. Okay, so what we do is we start off with our circle. And remember, if it doesn't connect exactly right or doesn't look like an exactly perfect circle, don't worry about it. And then here we put the number 3 with a flat top and like this. Just by that, making that move, we put down the nose and the mouth. We'll add the bottom lip, put our little cheek line in, put on a couple of loops for eyes, put in the pupils here, some eyebrows, and we'll use the letter C for an ear. Now, you can see how simple that was to do by just starting off with the circle and then adding that to it. Now, the next one we're going to do uses that same number 3, which is this. Let me show you here. The one that we're working on this time around, it has the flat top. It comes down like this, and then around. Okay? What we do with this next is we use 2 of these on top of each other. And just watch what happens here. You start off with the number 3, bring it down, put the loop on it. Now, if you need to turn your paper upside down to do this next step, go right ahead. You put the loop and drop this down for the number 3. And now you've made the chin, the nose, and the mouth just by putting the same number 3 on top of itself. Put the C on for the ear. Put on some nice eyes here. We'll use almost circles this time. Eyelids. Eyebrows. Now, you actually don't have to go any farther than that on that particular character. I was playing around last night and I realized that when you take the number 3 and you start shifting it around and stuff, it's amazing all the different characters you can come up with. And what we're going to do now is using 2 number 3s again, only in different positions. We're going to build a complete family of characters based on the number 3. Okay, let's start off with the mom. We take this number 3 and we add another number 3 backwards. We'll put a little loop right here for the chin. Put a curved line for the mouth. And we'll put on the lips with the letter B and the letter U. Put the letter C for the nose. Put on a couple of ovals for eyes. Add the pupils. Eyebrows. And remember, on ladies, it's always best to put on eyelashes. And then we just, for hair, we just simply put almost like a giant letter C and a giant letter C on this side. put on the neck. And this time we're going to add a bow. We put a square here, put a triangle off here, and a triangle off here. Now, there's Mom. The next one we're going to do is the little girl. It's basically the same process, except we change the face a little bit. When you're doing younger people, you want to bring the face closer towards the bottom and closer together and make everything just a little bit smaller. That way it makes the cheeks look bigger. So let's go ahead and do her. We start off with the exact same face shape, the number 3. And we bring it over here. And this time I'm not going to add a chin. Put a small little smile on with just the curved line. Maybe we'll add the bottom lip like that. We'll put the C on here. See how much closer it is to the mouth and how everything is farther down on the head? That shows your character's a little younger. Put on some great big eyes. Eyelashes. Eyebrows. And let's have this little girl looking off to one side. And we'll fill the pupils in. Now we'll add her neck, and we'll add something we didn't add on the mother, which are the ears. Just make some curves here. And then for this little girl, we're just going to make really squiggly, wiry hair. So this is what we'll do. And this way you can add as much or as little as you want. And just go around your drawing. And be real loose with your pencil. And try and make these swirls come from your wrist. There we go. There's our little girl. Now, of course, if we have a little girl, we have to have a little boy. And if we have a little boy, then we have to have a dad. And then we're going to show you some other faces that are basically the same face, but using the other type of 3. So let me shuffle my notes here. All right, let's do the dad next. Okay, we start off with the number 3 again. Another number 3 here. Now, when I say you can use numbers and letters to build your cartoons, you can use them backwards, upside down, however you want. It doesn't make any difference. Let's put a little crooked smile on Pop here. Add some teeth. Add his ears. And this time, instead of a little curved nose, I want to come up like this. It's almost like a rounded off number 7. We add the eyes, eyelids, eyebrows, and then we will come in here and just by making some little spiky lines like this, we'll put Dad's hair on. Now, on Dad, let's add a neck here and put on a bow tie. You make the bow tie the exact same way you did when you made the bow in the mom's hair. Let me just fill in these pupils before we do that. You put a square right here. And actually, the easiest way to do this is just run a gigantic X like that through it and then connect the bottoms. There we go. Now there's Dad and his big old bow tie. Now, let's do the kid brother. If, like most kid brothers, this little guy's probably far more mischievous than the little girl. And maybe he's gotten into a little bit of trouble somewhere along the line, or he's thinking about breaking a window or chasing a cat or something. So we're going to give this guy just a nice little evil look. And you'll see how we do that by tilting the eyebrow or the eyelids in. All right? Let's go ahead and then do him now. We start with the number 3 again. Second number 3. We'll give him a little chin here. And let's cock the mouth off to one side. Put on the little C for the nose. Now, this is how you make your character look a little bit evil and mischievous. You simply drop like this where the eyes are going to go. That's your eyelids. You put your eyes in. We'll fill them in here since we have the time. We'll give him some freckles. And you can give your little girl freckles too. Put in his tongue, and his teeth, and his ears. And then for hair, let's give him a big wave of hair. And then come behind the ear, and come behind the ear, put a few sprigs out here. Put on his neck, and we'll drop his eyebrows in. There we go. Now, we've built an entire family using basically the number 3. I'm going to show you one other use for this particular number 3. Then we're going to build another family using the type of 3 that's rounded off on the top. So let me shuffle around here and get some paper. There we go. Now, this is another kind of cool thing you can do with your number 3. Let's just put down a face. We'll use a backwards G. Maybe we'll put a lip on it this time. And put let's slide this over so you can see it, huh? Put that there. Put on the eyes. Now see, this is another way you can build characters, is you don't have to use the set shapes that we use for heads and stuff. You can go ahead and build your character's face, and then you can build a head around it. Some eyebrows, and we'll come down like this for some jowls, and then here's his chin. And this time what we do with the number 3, I'll go ahead and I'll finish off the top of his head, is we use the number 3 here. We come like this, down and around. Come over here and do the same thing backwards. And then we come in here and we just fill this area in. And with that one move, you've not only drawn the ears, but you've drawn the hair. And then we put like 3 little sprigs up here, and there's our little fellow with the number 3 for ears and hair. Now, what you will see, this way with the top of the the 3 rather, going straight out, it actually makes the forehead appear to be larger and the cheeks appear to be smaller. You'll see that when we do we're going to do basically the same family, we're just changing the head shape. And you'll see what a difference really turns out because of that. Back to the old notes here. There we go. All right. This time we're going to use this number 3. Now, we might stretch it out a little bit. We might make it a little fatter or a little thinner. But even from this, we can do what we did the first time. We can add eyes, eyelashes, or eyelids rather, eyebrows, and now we have another character made basically from the number 3. Now we're going to go ahead and do the, let's follow the same order. Let's do the mom first, then the little girl. We start off with the number 3. Come here with a backwards number 3. Give mom a little chin. Put on mom's nose, her mouth, and her lips. We'll bring in the eyes. Add the eyelashes, the pupils, the eyebrows, and then we'll come through here and we'll add the giant C's for hair again. And since we did it on the last one, we might as well do it on this one. We'll add the bow. Start off with the box. Lower this down here for you a little bit. Put on the triangle, or you can do the big X if you'd rather. Now, there's that mom. Now let me dig through my notes here, and we'll find the first mom we did. And I know she's buried down here somewhere. Here we go. Now, this way you can see the difference. Here's the first one we did. And you'll see that the cheeks and the forehead appear to be a little bit wider. Okay? This one, see how it's more round and pleasing, and how the cheeks actually look fatter than the forehead does? All right. Let's find some more paper here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do the little girl. This time you might want to make the top of the 3 just a little bit smaller because you want her to have bigger cheeks. We won't give her a chin. There we go. Sorry, I keep sliding to one side. I apologize for that. Add her nose and her mouth. And we're going to open the mouth this time and put in the tongue, the teeth. Fill this in. The big eyes, eyelashes, eyebrows, her pupils, her ears, her freckles. Don't want to forget the freckles this time around. And then we'll just do the curly hair again. Just start down here near the face so that you can make it as big or small as you want. And there's that little girl. Okay, now we'll do the brother and the father. Once again, it's the exact same process. We might change a few things here and there, but this just shows you how just starting with a simple number, you can really make, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cartoons you can do. You know, after we do this, I think next show we're going to do a whole bunch of animals using the number 3. You can also use all, you know, number 5s work great, number 2s work great, number 4s work great, but I was just amazed at how many you can actually get out of just knowing the number 3. So let's go ahead now and do the dad and then the brother. We'll line it up this time so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Start off with the number 3. Come here with the number 3. Put on the chin. We use a little hook nose for Dad. Let's just give him a great big grin this time. Big old smiley grin using all kinds of his teeth. Raise up here for his eyes, which are ovals. Eyebrows. Make his eyes wide open this time. Put in his ears. And we'll give him that same spiky hairdo. But it's going to look different this time because we actually follow the curve of the number 3 as we go along. Okay, there's Dad. And while we're at it, we'll just go ahead and do brother. Put on his little C nose. Let's give him the same little evil eye look. We'll switch it this time. We'll move the eyes this way so he's looking off in this direction. Add the ears. Same crooked little smile. We'll add his freckles. His neck. And then we'll give him that same big swooping hairdo. With some sprigs of hair sticking out. Now, we have just made 8 or 9 or 10 faces, all starting with just the number 3. Anybody can do the number 3. The side views of the face work out great this way, because that way you get to show, you know, how the side of the mouth goes. I'm going to do one more piece here for you, and what we're doing is not only we're using the number 3 for the rounded off 3 for the face, but then we're going to use the other 3 to form the body. And this is really a kick. So let's do it now. Number 3 for the face. Making it a little bit smaller this time because I need a lot of room down here for the body. We add on the ears, the nose, and the mouth, eyes, and eyebrows. And we'll put on the hair. Now, I played around with this last night, and this was really a lot of fun. You add a rectangle here for the neck, and then turn your paper upside down and make the number 3 here. And try and get it to connect up in this area. And then you make the backwards number 3 here. Now, this time, you see how we stretched that out and we didn't connect it down here? There's a reason for that. We come back like this now. We run a line here, a straight line here, and here, and then we put on the ovals. There's his feet. We'll run a curved line like this, comes up and like that for a collar. There's the buttons and the pocket, and then we'll have him both arms out waving. Remember, 3 fingers and a thumb on cartoons. And there we go. This is Big Jim without a beard and when he had his hair all cut off. So there you go. We'd have him doing something, but Big Jim doesn't do anything but sit around and draw cartoons. So anyway, wanted to show you some stuff that came in. Now normally I bring out my big books and we open them up and show individual pieces. Today I'm opening up some big envelopes that came in. This one came in from a class in Alta Loma, California, of 5th graders, and this is their note from their teacher. And I'm going to leave this on camera for a second. Maybe we can get them to zoom in on this because I'm afraid to try and pronounce Don's last name because I know I'll mess it up. So there you go. Anyway, what a lot of classes are doing, and I'm very happy about this, is they're using the Cartoon Factory as their art classes now. So this came in from this 5th grade class. This is a penguin by Heather. And here's some more penguins. Kalina, it looks like. Keith did us a great Abraham Lincoln here. Thank you, Keith. Christine Littlefield, Abe Lincoln. Now we've got a bunch of them here, so I'm just going to kind of go through. Maybe not all of them. All right. We'll show some more tomorrow. This is from Joseph. This is from who knows, but I love it. It's great. What a great Lincoln. Oh, this one opens up. No wonder. Let's take a look, guys. Ah, the color one's on the inside, and it's from Sammy. Sammy, thank you. That's cool. Another one from Keith with our alien on our sportscaster. Oh, I love it. He made the sportscaster green, too. Another one from Keith. Boy, Keith is just really getting into this, isn't he? Thank you, Keith. Adam. I love it, man. These are all great, and I'm really glad that the teachers are using this because it's a fun way to learn, at least I think, and I hope you guys do too. And I think this letter from this class is kind of evidence that is so. And Christine again. All right, I'll show you some more next time. What I'm going to do real fast here is we're going to pull up this Big Jim character because this will be one of them I show you in color. And I'm going to go ahead, if I can find my pen, here we go, and I'm going to start inking this. Now, as I've told you before on your inking, you don't have to be real close if you don't want to be. You can be real neat and touch all the lines perfectly if you want. If you don't and you would rather go ahead and just get a little wild or even make changes now, it's not too late. So let's go ahead and put on the glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, and the other thing I forgot on this one is the horizon line. So if I put the horizon line down here, you see how this character looks like he's jumping? By simply adding a few what are called action marks. Let's go up in here now and start inking him in. You'll be able to see him better. Put a little better collar on. And once again, that ticking you hear is I have a pencil stuck to my arm. All right. Well, if we didn't have at least one mistake or one mess up on the show, it wasn't really Jim Gilbert and it wasn't really the Cartoon Factory. It'd have to be somebody else. Anytime that you tune in and you see somebody sitting here that's really well organized and makes it all the way through a cartoon without at least one mess up, you know it's not me. You know that somebody has come in and kidnapped Big Jim. Probably have to use a forklift. Got Big Jim out of the studio and replaced him. All right, let's just finish up this arm. and the hand. You see how once you get used to this method, how easy it is to just go ahead and ink it in, and any place that I've missed, we'll just erase those pencil lines. Okay, believe it or not, our time together is up. I've had a good time. I hope you have too. Remember, there's an address at the end of the show. If you would like to write us, please, if you can, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. And remember that you are always welcome at the Cartoon Factory. See you next time.